Howdy folks, Zethios here, and welcome back to Tyranny. Unless we left off, we issued an edict. Accidentally. And now we have that power to issue edicts via the spires. Now, and we fended off the Scarlet Chorus who were besieging us. And now we have Kairos has issued new edicts, not new edicts, but commandments that there can only be one. We're in a Highlander situation. There can only be one Archon. Technically. One Archon must reign supreme, which means the other Archons have to die or submit to another Archon's will. So, that's the Voice of Narat, Graven Ash, us, now from Fatebinder Zethios to Archon Zethios, Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, and Bleden Mark, the Archon of Shadows. There are 5 Archons in the tiers, and all of them, we must figure out what to do. But first, we have a lot of before we moved out anywhere, there were a lot of our companions wanted to talk to us. Barrick?
I have come to regard knowledge as a kind of curse, and I better understand the Overlord's injunctions against too much of it. In knowing why my armor clings to me, I think I began feeling it grow into me. Has it buried itself deeper within me? Or do I imagine this?
He sighs.
Kairos has ordered that the Archons determine a ruler of the tiers from among themselves. This is the time to go to Archon Ash, submit to him, and beg clemency.
He wants us to submit to Archon Ash. We can say I'm not doing that. We can say you can bow to me. How many Despair have we killed together? Is it not a capital defense in your legion? Take the final step, reject Ash, and pledge yourself to me. Yeah, Barrick. What's up, dude?
How dare you, Archon? Any atrocities I have committed have been as your weapon. The General understands that a soldier follows orders. I am Graven Ash's shield before all others, and nothing you can say will convince me otherwise.
We can say Ash's otherwise admirable devotion to his troops has curdled into obsession, Barrick. To protect his people, he would burn every peasant in town in the tiers and salt the remains. Trying to navigate us through Kairos' proclamation, Barrick. If we can slip you free of the armor this way, it means we won't be able to survive the Overlord's command. Or we could just hit him. What do we want to say? I don't think he'll care. He doesn't care about himself. He always puts himself, I'm just a soldier, I'm part of a greater thing. I don't know. Let's try it. His devotion to his troops has curdled into obsession. Like the people who burn every peasant in town in the tiers and salt the remains.
You intend to convince me that it is a weakness that General Ash loves his legionnaires?
Alright, yeah, let's go. If we can slip you free of the armor, if we can slip you free of this armor, it means we might be able to survive the command.
But you just said... No. There is nothing you will not claim to win a debate, is there?
Shakes his head.
No, Fatebinder. I will not be forsaking Graven Ash for you. Make peace with the General, Archon. I would not have you stand opposite him on the field of battle. Only tragedy can result.
Kill Graven Ash. Never free. Hmm. Will he thank us for it? No. Alright, Lantry. Finishing the last pin strokes of a note running about his left arm, Lantry looks up at you with a nod.
Not to steal your glorious day in the sun, but I must say, now all my notes on you are suddenly worth 10 times their weight in iron. My journals will melt the linens off the ladies, I tell you.
Okay, you creepy old man.
What's that you say? Buxom, nubile lasses with an interest in old men who know history. You need a definitive tractatus on the trials and tribulations of the Archon of the Tears? Ha! Well, you're in luck.
Buxom, nubile lasses. Lantry, you dirty dog, you.
I think one can safely conclude that you have the Overlord's attention, and that of the Tears. Soon, all of Taratas. You realize, I trust, I hope, that nobody other than Kairos has ever cast an edict until you.
Yeah, also safe to assume Kairos will try to solve me in some fashion.
At the same time, if you really were a meaningful threat, you'd have already been the victim of an edict, or Bleden Mark's daggers. So this has me rather curious. Just what does the Overlord wish to do with you?
We'll find out soon enough. We should get going.
Indeed. Once again, I find myself wishing the days and nights would slow down just a hair. Never enough hours to journal these dense days. Let us be on our way.
Okay. Verse also wanted to talk to us. So she's probably having the same conflict Barrack has. Hey, Binder, let me get something off my chest. She nods to grab your attention. I burn inside. When I dance, it's like I'm trying to let out the fire to quench it in blood. Instead, I just end up stoking the flames. Shit, did any of that make sense? She smooths down her feathers and sighs. Yeah, I think I follow. I've always had such a strong connection to my Furies. That bond made me feel, I don't know exactly, like part of something? Now it feels like they're in me. They rise up when I dance, each time a little more restless. When we were going after Crocus and Orissa, I could almost hear them, like they were whispering to me, tugging from somewhere deep. And even I can't deny that all this sounds a lot like, him. She looks off into the distance. Eldian? No, not the old man from Lathan's Crossing. No, definitely not him. Voices of Narat. Kairos' bloody balls? Yes, the voices of Narat. The thought alone that I could be anything like the voice of Narat makes me want to flay myself. She inhales deeply, chest rising, then lets it out through her teeth in a low, prolonged hiss. I'm worried about the Archon of Secrets. All the time, in the end, either he hollows you out or finds something worse to do with you. Sure, he can rip people's thoughts away, but what about the slower, more insidious stuff, like how he fashions his eyes? He shudders. I guess that's what worries me. He already made me his eyes on you. What if he wants to make me his eye too? If you don't want to turn into him, don't be like him. What exactly are you suggesting? Are you suggesting? The right corner of her lip twists. Maybe don't eat people. Be stronger than him. Lead the Scarlet Chorus. Force yourself to stay human. Leave. Yeah. Leave the only place I've ever felt at home. The group that gave me a purpose and taught me to dance? I think not, she smirks. Now, I might be convinced to slit a certain fiery green throat and claim the chorus for my own. One more thing before I call it a day, Fatebinder. What is it? After we spoke to Essa, I slipped a scout some rings to keep an eye on the place and send word if anything out of the ordinary happened. Cracks her knuckles beneath her calloused palms. Apparently there have been some strangers lurking about. I'd like to head back to River's Break and see if we can't grab one. Maybe dig a little knowledge out of them. But not, in a directly out of the head kind of way. She frowns sheepishly. We'll check it out if we get a chance. Not saying it's the most important thing facing us, just, if we find the time. Got an odd feeling about it is all. Let's get moving. The war is not over yet. Okay, so an extension of the side quest. Alright, Siren and Ebb, you guys want to say anything?
Well, if it isn't the savior of the tears, what are you gonna ask me to do now? What do you need?
Okay, no. No, she doesn't have anything to say. Let's leave.
Hail, mighty Archon.
She salutes you with a nod, pounding her staff to the ground as she stands at attention.
Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kairos alone can issue an edict. And yet, here you are, proclaiming mastery of the lands just like the Overlord.
I can replicate her powers, but I'm not just like the Overlord. So yeah, I don't know why this distinction is here. Because I guess there are people who don't know about the Overlord, but assume that the Overlord is a he. I don't know if we've ever seen him face to face, but there are people who say that the Overlord is actually a she. And from the people that told us that, I value that they were telling the truth, and they're more in the know than other people who have said differently. So let's say that one.
You mean his powers?
Siren. I mean her.
You say that now. Let's see if you still feel this way when the reality sinks in, and your mastery of this newfound power solidifies. The world now bows to your mere utterance. Each day you will grow stronger, while the world becomes weaker in comparison.
Well, Siren just said his. And Siren's... Wait. I need to expand my list. Siren's technically an Archon, right? He's the Archon of Song?
Put another way, if I could do what you do, the world would be at the mercy of my depravity. Cursing the name of Ebb, Archon of Fecund Fluids. Let's hope your moral sextant isn't as crooked as my own.
Absolutely disgusting, Ebb. Good
Your
lord.
newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kairos alone can issue an edict. And yet, here you are, proclaiming mastery of the lands just like the Overlord.
Well, enough about me for the moment.
What is it you need?
Let's return for our travels. Alright, I guess we could just talk to everybody. Alright, so we've talked to Reverse. Never Free. Man, oh man. Anything else we gotta do? Let's look at the Spire stuff. So the Ocean Spire has some stuff, new items around. You have 3 people there, 4 people there, 6 people there. We have some maintenance. I think it's been a while since we've sold off some stuff. I don't know. Do we want to keep this complement of party?
Well, if it isn't the what do you need?
You can say the same
well,
thing.
then let's go.
Alright, I think
We'll wait
keep
for a
Barrack,
short while.
take Verse, keep Lantry. Obviously keep ourselves.
They never had a chance.
Apparently we need to speak with Verse again. Are you trying to piss everyone off, or do you just do this for fun? I'm not judging either way, I'm just curious. Casting an edict on Vendrian's Well is a good way to shine a beacon on yourself, or paint a target. She crosses her arms and smiles. Do we regret it? So you're just gonna deny, I don't think we're... This is a lot. A lot on Zethios' plate right now. A newly named Archon. Named by the Overlord themselves. Because apparently there's a gender controversy. Or just a question, right? Man, how about it just straight up that when they said that the Overlord was a she? But apparently there's a debate there and no one actually really knows. Maybe Siren knows. See, going around questioning yourself, if you ask me, that puts us in more danger than flaunting the Overlord's magic. Grow a pair and stick to your conventions in a world where a legal clerk can cast apocalyptic spells from the top of an unassailable tower. Woof. What is my voice doing? Unassailable tower. Who's to say what's right or wrong? Alright, verse. After that, alright. How's
I have
our...
it no other way.
What I thought.
Follow me.
Can we...
Graven Ash protects.
Right.
That's my entry, so you need to be second.
Affirmative.
Dang it. There we go. Alright. Where are we off to? Okay, River's Break, which is just right there. On the way. We have the Dawning Spire, which apparently we can go and take now. We have Sunset, we have the Mountain, and we have the Ocean Spire. I don't remember if the Dawning Spire, I think it was the Aurora Spire, where we were at earlier, and couldn't get in, or I just didn't know how to get in. That's just a big old dummy over there, so probably could add 4. 4 towers at this point, and Dawning Spire is like the last tower. The River's Break is just right there, so let's go ahead and go to River's Break first. Their journey is interrupted by a messenger from the Mountain Spire. Short young man, lank flop of dark hair, surprisingly full beard. He's bloodshot eyes and a nervous disposition. Ever since you issued the edict against your foes, the courier tells you the Valley of Apex has been beset ever-increasing number of bane. The creatures seem amicable to all life, and their predations have the people of Apex hiding in terror. This keeps up the lands you claim will not be able to support your spire, regardless of how rapacious your tax collectors become. Messenger asks what orders you wish to return to the spire. The well-versed messenger. Ignore the bane. Give orders or inquire further. Let's inquire further. More details. He tells you there have been scattered bane sighted throughout the valley. They're the thickest around the citadel and the mountains that ring it. They've attacked a handful of travelers, devastated livestock. Farms are still recovering from the conquest, the rise, the Vendrian Guard, and the subsequent civil war. Couldn't be a worse time for Bane to appear. Alright, let's give our orders. Consider how best to deal with the threat your edict has stirred. So 10,000 rings, hire mercenaries, that's a lot. Lure the Bane away. Request a favor, aid from Tunon. I don't think he'll be too keen on doing that. Lure the Bane away to where? To another region? Can we send him toward Cacophony? Turns that a focus active magic by a mystic at another spire could draw the Bane away from the mountain spire. Won't be a simple thing to complete, but it's a plan. Could defuse the issue without significant further bloodshed. Of course, you doubt the people in the area around the spire will appreciate any Bane. They'd be better suited to deal with them than the farmers. Which spire to use? The Ocean Spire, the Sunset Spire. So we can send him to Lath's Crossing, which also had a Bane issue. The Ocean Spire. Oh boy, that's really bad. Really sucks. They're gonna hate us. Are the Forge bound? They don't have the Mage Helm anymore because we have it. Ocean Spire. I forget who's down there. I don't think anyone's near the spire. Really. Can't remember. I think it was just out in the middle of nowhere. So I think we'll take it to the Ocean Spire. The Sunset Spire is that's a city that's right by that. So I don't want it sent towards the city. Let's send it to the Ocean Spire. So Vendrian Guard. That looks like favor. We get favor with them. The Unbroken hate us. The Disfavored hate us. More. Alright, every able-bodied magician who'd come together at the spire's top, performed a ritual. At least a night and a day. Magnify the magic. Hopefully that will call the Bane for the Valley farmlands. Alright. That's a really, That's a tough choice. I doubt. Oh my gosh, they burned it down. Son of a bitch. Who did this? Windborne ash assaulted your senses even before you reached River's Break. By the time the farmstead came into view, the burning smell was joined by those of charred, rotting flesh and blasted vegetation. The house stands in ruins, the plaster cracked and blackened. First steps forward, arms slack at her sides, mouth slightly agape. Did we do this? This looks like a fire. What the Kairos-loving shit? Careful, Verse. It could be a trap. What happened here? I don't think he can control himself. Essa. Shit, Fatebinder. Want everyone in Veneransville to know we're here? Let's poke around. Maybe there's something here that'll give us a better sense of who did this and why. Barrick wants to talk again. God dang it, Barrick.
They won't see me coming.
Alright, let's... Sneaky. The charred and smoldering corpse. Oh, damn it. Essa. Fuck. Verse sinks into her knees in the ashes and touches the charred and peeling face for a moment of silence. After a moment of silence, she looks up to you, then shakes her head. I could have given her a clean death, and instead she ends up here, burned alive. That's mercy for you. Glances down at her blackened palms. Can't do anything for her. You're okay. This isn't your fault. You okay, Verse? Why wouldn't I be okay? Let's just find the fuckers who did this. I got some words for them. Some very hot, very sharp words. Burn, impale, pierce, ignite, skewer, combust. I'm here if you need more, Lantry. Shit, old man. All that reading has just done wonders for your critical thinking skills. Did we already say this isn't your fault? No, we said how if she was okay. This isn't your fault. No shit, this isn't my fault, and when we find the fuckers whose fault it is, I'm going to make damn sure they understand the pain of being roasted like a pig on a spit. Let's figure out what happened here, Fatebinder. Let's go met out some justice. Justice. Oh, God. Investigate. Crates and plants litter the ground in disarray. Let me read. Verse. What a mess. Whoever came here decided to throw down among themselves. That doesn't scream Scarlet Chorus. I'm the last queen of Apex. Alright. Let's head back up here. The charred and smoldering corpse of an older woman has been dumped unceremoniously on the ground. Crates and plants litter the ground in disarray, perhaps strewn about during a scuffle. That her crates lie scattered and burned across the ground.
These were here before, weren't they? Can't say they seem very useful now.
Deep. Somebody pried this door open. Someone with iron. She runs a finger along the door frame. This favored may have the collective brain capacity of a crate filled with stone, but they treat their weapons like each one as the daughter of Kairos. Disgraceful. The Overlord and the Great General gifted us iron that we might spill the blood of our enemies, not the lever open a stubborn door. Barrick glares at the door, his head bowed. So we got one for Scarlet Chorus, one for Disfavored. So deep gouges mar the door frame, a few slivers of blackened iron hide embedded among the splinters. Hide among the splinters. Corner of the ruined home seems particularly charred, the scorch marks. Look at this Fatebinder. Verse points at the blasted remnants of the wall. Seen a lot of fires in my time, and this is that very special pattern of burning that only happens with magic. She kneels, fingers running over the ashes. See these marks? Sigil work, and too clean for blood chanters. Probably a sage, were I to guess. Sages did this. If you know of another organized society of magic users who'd like to control information, I'll happily look their way. Good eye indeed. I believe this was done with the sigil of fire by way of the Sun Queen, as opposed to that of Thousand Embers erratic brand of fire. You can tell by the tin pattern at the burned edges. The overall blast pattern suggests a thorough understanding of modern expressive techniques, while he blinks, dropping into silence. Now I'm boring us all. Apologies. No, I didn't know what to do that. Alright. Corner of the ruined home seems particularly charred. The scorch marks unusually focused and intense. Okay, what about here? The overhang behind the tree seems to collapse from the fire.
Is there anything better than the old, familiar scent of a burned-out farmhouse? What?
Seem to have collapsed from the fire. The stench of charred wood haunts the air. Faint tracks disturb the soil. Nice find, Binder. First sinks to one knee. Sure it's not our tracks? These tracks are faint. Even with the earth as dry as it is, whoever left them was traveling light. They couldn't have carried much gear. Attention turns to the eastern horizon. So that kind of eliminates disfavored, because they're usually pretty, like, heavy armor and stuff. So they would have deep imprints.
We've got a burned farmstead and multiple fire wards set around it. That reeks of our missing fire mage, Catorius.
Torius. Have we encountered...
There's chorus and disfavored shit all over the place. Given how shoddily maintained the iron is, I'm guessing it's all chorus shit.
Could he have been conscripted?
We can always ask him when we find him, assuming I let him live long enough to form an answer. The nearest stronghold is a sad little pile of palisades on the edge of the contested lands called Fort Squander. The disfavored used to hold those walls, so that could go a ways towards explaining their arms being scattered around here. Come on, we've got a sage to track.
Alright, let's find him.
Lead the way, boss.
Yeah, she's not hearing anything. She's rage-fueled right now. Well, the rocks juts from the rough dirt. Nothing else to say here. Alright. Her red geyser stance has been updated. Alright, let's talk to Barrack before we leave. I can scarcely believe it. You proclaimed an edict. You wielded the power of the Overlord for a moment, perhaps, but it was enough to turn the tide of battle in our favor. That simply doesn't happen. The Overlord's magic is as unknowable as anything on Tyranny, and mysterious, and, well, I was about to say as unapproachable as the spires, but you have cleanly dispelled that notion. What do you suggest I do next? It may be too late to mend your ties with Kairos' hierarchy. If you continue to prove your worth, then perhaps you can be invited back into the fold. I suppose that Kairos needs some time for introspection, as do we all. Questions for you?
What can I do for you?
We'll talk later. Maybe we don't have anything in particular really to talk about. Just get that out of the way. Alright, so that's... Yeah, we know the disfavored don't like us as much anymore. So... the sage that's working with the Scarlet Chorus. We'd have to have known this person's name before. That's still before we hit Ashfield, so we still have a chance. So we could head to Fort Squander. Technically, Cacophony's before Ashfield, so we could take out the Voices of Nerat if we wanted to. I have a feeling that would be a rough fight. He has that whole camp. Don't know how much of the camp he would still have in that camp after we messed up their siege. But a lot of those people fled. So, who knows? Alright, what's the plan here? We're like at the outskirts of a fort. Try to keep Barrack in front if we can. I'm guessing the fort's going to be center of the map. So just going to get the outline edges. Yeah, it looks that way. Is it a wood fort? Looks that way. This was a disfavored camp? Allegedly. I don't know. Maybe it looked nicer once upon a time. Alrighty. Well, there's a way to like look inside. You see into a little bit, not much though. Alright, Barrack. Yeah, we're just doing reconnaissance. Not being sneaky whatsoever, so they could just come out at any time. Be like, hey, what the F you doing here? Okay. And our way down. Where's the entrance? That looks like a entrance. Very inviting. This place is manned by a skeleton crew. Could be that half the choirmen are out raiding, but I don't like it. Nostrils flare. Either way, this is our best opportunity to get in and out without having to cut our way through 100 forest scrubs. Thought I might miss out on my scrub slaying quota. How many more people we're gonna have to kill in there? Well, this is a trap. Never far from my mind, Fatebinder, but it pays to keep on one's toes. First sparks. Let's see you and I go bind ourselves some fates. Alright, why is battle music happening? Blood stains the wall, thick as layered paint, and dead flies stick to its tacky surface. There seems to be too much gore to be the result of battle. If it's supposed to be decor, it's meaning it's lost in the mad excess. Alright, let's cover the rest of this. Don't know why we have battle music. Right after that question. Oh boy. That's still good. Do we wanna... That's not gonna do much. Just hit a bleed. Be sneaky. Sneaky hard shot.
Another battle.
Alright, who's coming? Oh my god. You just killed that guy straight up. Yikes. Alright, Lantry. Just
Take me if you can.
throw your dart. And then lightning
At once.
that person. Those people were pretty,
Fall before me!
pretty low tier.
Come back and face me.
I'm trying to
Someone
disengage.
let me out!
Oh, Barrick. You're fine. We got you that new thing. Alright, that's just another horde guy. Don't need that. Try and bleed that person. And also, catch that one on fire. If you would please. Thank you.
You got it.
Not very happy about it, but take it. Poison.
On your knees, worm.
I guess that didn't work at all. None of those, in fact, did. Alright, take out horde guy, please.
I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass!
That's fine.
On it.
Alright. I love how it just bounces off of him.
I will have your head!
Ow. Lantry, I thought your heal was supposed to be good. What's going on here?
Take
But
me if
you
you can.
get out of there. Look how much damage is being done to Lantry. Ridiculous. Well, that's protected by you. Alright, can you give your taunt? Lantry's down before we get the taunt off.
None stand in our way.
Freaking crap, dude. Alright. You need to be on fire. And we need to, like, bleed you. It's just, like, transferred over
On it.
to freaking Barrick. What the heck? Alright, we did get a poison in, though.
It's a hit.
Freaking Barrick, when he's on fire, is hilarious. It's a Scarlet Notebook. Horde Boots. Just grab
Right.
some stuff. Someone's exuding something. I don't know what's going on there, but Mr. Lantry needs to heal up all the way. Does do Defender's Watch, which halves, not halves, but gets rid of some damage. Alright. Do we have another fight imminent? Why can't I collect this? Weird. Weird how that's there. Alright. Before we progress further into camp, we're going to end things off there. So, till next time, this has been Zethios, signing out for now. Bye, folks.